let's talk deadlifts, especially with my naturally skinny guys. If you were not including deadlifts in your workout program, you were missing out on some huge gains. And I'm going to explain why in this video. So first off, the amount of hate I've seen, especially this year in 2024, absolutely blows my mind. I continue to hear the statement of that deadlifts are a trash exercise. That might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life within the weightlifting, health, fitness, exercise community. So I don't even know where to start with how stupid that statement is, especially for the context of getting bigger and stronger as naturally skinny men. So have you ever heard of the common statement that what's a topic that you can stand on stage for and talk about for upwards of an hour with 0 notes or prep? That's right here for me with deadlifts. Obviously, this video will not be an hour long, but oh my God, this topic gets me fired up. I have 0 notes with this aside from what's in my head right now, and that's how passionate I am about this topic. So where to even begin with this? So first, let's talk about it from a functional movement standpoint. So first off, from the context of the human body, the deadlift is literally one of the most natural functional movements of the human body that is meant to pick up things off the ground that the body was designed to do. Okay. So being the statement of it, the deadlift is a trash exercise, which I know why they're saying that, and I'll address that later. But you're telling me that doing a heavy deadlift to help you get stronger and better at picking up heavy things off the ground in everyday life, you're telling me that's a bad thing to do. Got it. Makes perfect sense. Secondly, from a bodybuilding standpoint of putting on muscle mass and size and things of that nature, where to begin with this one? So last I checked, compound movements are king for bodybuilding. What is deadlift? A massive compound movement. In fact, it works everything from head to toe. I don't know about you, but when I do heavy deadlifts, my back is fried, my legs are fried, and so is my core. Crazy. I know. On top of that, when you're doing it correctly, engaging your lats as well as having your chest out, your entire body is getting worn. I can feel it in my arms, my back, my legs, my core. In fact, I can't even do a core exercise afterwards if I try because of how fried my core is. On top of that, I can't even do a barbell row after I'm done doing heavy deadlifts because of how fried my back is from that. Which brings me to my next point of the bodybuilding context of doing rows instead of deadlifts to work different angles of the lats. So, fun fact, barbell rows are an accessory exercise of the deadlift. Ever notice how you don't really PR in a barbell row? Because the exercise is designed and meant to help strengthen your deadlift because it's the second phase of the deadlift. Yes, barbell rows are a good accessory exercise for your back. It can also serve as a primary mover for your back. Yes. However, deadlifts triumph all of that as one single fluent motion. You go to barbell rows when your nervous system is already fried, for in the event of you no longer want to pick up heavy things off the ground. Instead, do a variation of a row that takes your legs and your nervous system out of the equation. That's where rows come into play with that. But again, I don't know about you, but when I do heavy deadlifts, my back is absolutely fried. In fact, I'll show you some progress photos up here, before and after photos of notice how my shirt is more filled in because your lats fill your shirt in. And guess what? That was from deadlifts. Mainly from deadlifts. Yes, there's a pull-ups and rows in there, but that's mainly from deadlifts because I don't do that many rows or pull-ups, and yet my freaking shirt got filled in, and my back got freaking huge, and my lats are super easy, are easy muscle for me to work from deadlifts. Crazy. I know. Now, if you want to talk about the whole time under tension thing, we can squash that right now too. There's this thing called Romanian deadlifts that are literally designed as a time under tension deadlift that work your hips, your legs, and your back, as well as your core, all in one single motion. Crazy, I know. Oh God, this topic gets me fired up. On top of that, there are several different variations of deadlifts that you can do. Sumo, conventional, rock pulls, Romanian deadlifts. You can also modify a deadlift for rehabilitation purposes to help improve your posture and help strengthen your posture muscles. And from more of an endurance standpoint, of going lighter weight with lots and lots of reps of time at the top. There are many things that you can do with deadlifts. Point being, and which all goes back to the deadlift as a trash exercise. And so I will address that right now too. So the reason they say that is because they are getting injured during doing the deadlifts. So I should laugh at that, but here's fun facts. If you were getting injured doing the deadlift, that is your fault and not the deadlift. Why? Because you're lifting a weight that you cannot handle. Your form sucks, or your core is not strong enough to actually effectively move the weight without arching your back, which goes back to based a weight that's too heavy for you in the first place. On top of that, too, when it comes from a bodybuilding standpoint, when you do a lot of seated-based rows or machine-based rows, or a lot of seated/machine-based exercises, guess what? Yes, you might build a big, strong back. The problem is you're not working your core at all. So when it comes time to do a heavy deadlift, your core is like, oh God, because your core has to stabilize everything, especially at the bottom of it. And if your core is not strong enough to do that, your lower back takes the fault of that. Crazy, I know. So stop blaming the deadlift because your lower back is injured. That's your fault, not the deadlift. 100%. Start strengthening your core, learn a better movement with the deadlift, and start doing exercises that actually involve your core to strengthen your core in the first place to probably do the movement and go from there. Oh my God. Stop blaming the deadlift because your back is injured. That is your fault and not the deadlift. Oh my God. So now, to circle back to bodybuilding a minute ago. Okay, so fun facts, in case you guys didn't know this. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is like, I don't know, Mr. Universe probably more than once, Mr. Olympia 5, 10 times, who knows, and has been labeled as one of, if not the best bodybuilders of all time. In his famous video of pumping iron, guess what he mentioned? That he also does deadlifts. So if Mr. Universe probably more than once, and Mr. Olympia 5, 10 times, who knows? I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't keep track, but I just know that he's done that quite a few times. If he does deadlifts that made him where he was at to get a freaking huge, strong, big back, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that for any competitive bodybuilder out there, or not competitive, just for a hobby, deadlifts are probably a good exercise to have in your routine, especially if they work for Arnold. Just saying. I'm also pretty sure that other top bodybuilders, Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman, and I don't know who else. I'm not into bodybuilding. I'm pretty sure that they also do deadlifts. Just saying. Oh my God. So next, from a strength standpoint, as well as from a muscle mass standpoint, please show me a strongman athlete, CrossFit athlete, powerlifting athlete, an Olympic gymnast, and what else is there? A NFL lineman, whatever you want to, whatever, an NFL athlete in general. Please show me one of those athletes that, correction. Do you find it weird that all those guys are freaking big, strong, and jacked? And guess what they do in their weightlifting routine? They do deadlifts. Crazy. Oh my God. It's almost like deadlifts are a staple exercise for working everything from head to toe, especially if you want to get a big, strong, wide back. In fact, for me, my back and lats are actually one of my easiest muscle group to grow when it comes to bodybuilding. I have no problem getting a thick, wide back and lats, especially after overcoming illness and disease and whatever, losing lots of strength. The first thing that grows back for me is my freaking back. And guess what I do lots of? Deadlifts. Crazy, I know. And this might be lastly, but might not be lastly, but lastly, since I'm not taking any notes right now, I'm just going with the flow right now. Those that do full body based workouts, doing them maybe 3 days a week, and they get big, strong, and jacked from that. Guess what? Guess what exercise is involved with those full body workouts? Deadlifts. Crazy. I know. So to wrap things up, for my not just skinny men, if you want to get big and strong and freaking jacked, I highly, highly recommend to incorporate deadlifts into your workouts. I promise you, it'll change your life. You can thank me later. For the guys that said that the deadlift is a trash exercise, cool, keep hating. My advice to you is to seek a personal trainer to work on your form, to strengthen your core, and to stop ego lifting and actually lift a weight that your body can handle instead of trying to mimic what you see big giant powerlifters do or whatever that lift heavy numbers, and you're trying to mimic that or for your own sake, and then you injure your back because your core is weak because you're trying to lift a weight that's too heavy for you that your body can't handle nor that your core can handle, and that happens as a result. And then from here you blame the deadlift because the deadlift becomes a trash exercise, when in reality it's just you that sucks. Something else I wanted to say too with that, but now I forgot. I got all wound up with this. Yeah. Anyway, so once again, my not just skinny guys, if you are not doing deadlifts, you're missing out on some huge gains, and I highly, highly, highly recommend that if you want to get big and strong and freaking jacked, to include deadlifts in your workouts. You can thank me later. That's all I got for you. Until next time, JB out.